Okay, so good morning, everybody. Welcome to our check-in meeting for our OSTCP grant. As a form of taking attendance, I'd just like to have everybody pop your name and your site into the chat for us. And then we'll have an opportunity for you to do some best practice sharing at the kind of towards the end of the meeting. So getting into the agenda right away, wanted to give everybody a quick update on professional development. So I have been working with Delisa to communicate with her contact at the Department of Labor, which is a woman named Greer. I was able to talk with Delisa yesterday, and it sounds like we're going to try to get a quick phone call early next week so that we can think about what a November, maybe December training might look like. So if you think back with me, this was brought up at our August meeting in which Delisa had shared some of the great partnerships that they had been doing with the Department of Labor. And we thought that it might be a good introduction and additional support for some of your sites as well, even though Delisa represents Council Bluffs, so Dalton, Yeah. So we'll go ahead and continue to work on that then.
Okay.
I also wanted to just let everybody know that in September, I attended the Future Ready Iowa Summit. And I did pull a few stats and key findings from that event that I will share with this group. Had a little bit of a hiccup because as we were, sorry, here comes Nicole. Had a little bit of a hiccup because after the meeting, I kind of went into crazy panic because it was impact. And then I've been on the road quite a bit here. So yesterday when I was in my Des Moines office, I had my Future Ready Iowa pamphlet that I had taken my notes on all ready to go. And I was going to bring it with me and share that out. I promptly left it on my desk. So I will type up just a quick bullet point summary of those things when I'm back in Des Moines on Monday. And then I'll get that out to everyone and we'll include it with the meeting notes and so on and so forth. So did anybody else on the call today happen to attend that summit? Yeah, I saw Delisa there, I saw Ruben there, but I wasn't sure if anybody else. Welcome, Nicole. If you don't mind, please pop your name and site in the chat for attendance purposes.
Hey, Crystal, will do.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Vic to talk through some financials. And I'm sorry, I should make this a little bit bigger for everybody here too, so you can see it a little easier. Vic, take it away.
All right. Well, what we wanted to have you do is send in your claim spreadsheet. Don't just put it into the CASA. Maybe you have it ready before you enter it into the CASA, but send it to me. And also I want to have an estimate of what you think your second quarter expenses might be. And the reason is I have to ask for carryover from the feds. And plus they are asking for information from me all the time. And, you know, it's kind of a pain that they're constantly emailing me, but then I found out why. There were 4 states, and we are the only state that got this off the ground. We're the only state with contracts. The rest of them are thinking about what they're going to do. So, you know, that's a nice feather in our cap. And, you know, I've also said, you know, hey, if they don't spend their money, can we spend it? You know, we just keep rolling, doing what we're supposed to be doing. But, you know, we can certainly give them that information because we're now going to be the national snapshot until the other ones get their act together as far as the data going forward on this. And, you know, a lot of our delays and things have been due to the pandemic, but it didn't completely stop us. So that's a good thing. So anyway, send me your claim spreadsheet and send me your estimate for Q2 so that I can communicate that on to the feds. And then keep in mind that our GEPRA measures, we've communicated those to you. They're not the same as 21st century. And then our next quarterly report is going to be due January 15th, but we want to get that ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay, so Vic, do you want to indicate a hard date for the financial claim sheet today? When we were emailing, you simply said ASAP. Do you want to give a hard date on the call today?
Yeah, can you get it to me by the end of next week?
So folks, that would be October 22nd. Is that reasonable, doable? Maybe
I think that should work.
Okay. Not sure. Okay.
I think that should work for Central Iowa, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then again, as Vic mentioned, our next quarterly report is due January 15th. You should all have the template. You just kind of build upon it from your previous reports. I'll send out the reminder to the group about the quarterly report being due. And then again, if you have any questions, you can reach back out and we'll go with it that way.
Hey, I have a question. I am so sorry, Crystal. I have a question, Vic.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this grant is not in the CASA system, is that right?
No, it is. It is in the
is?
CASA system.
Okay.
The reason I need this information is because the feds have been asking for data,
Okay,
and we're the only source of data that they have.
gotcha.
And I have a reputation for cooperating with them.
Well,
And
we
that's
want
a
to
good
help you
thing.
keep that, of course. So
Yeah, I mean, look at last year.
um,
How much money did we release last year compared to this year? We've got a nice increase this year in
Yeah.
21st century. So, I like to keep on good terms with the folks that are funding our program.
For sure. So just so I am 100% clear, so send the claim spreadsheet by next Friday at the latest, but then we'll also have to do the workflow in the CASA system and submit
Correct.
that way
And
too. Okay.
let me clarify this. If you discover that, you've got additional expenses before you submit to CASA, that's okay.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to match exactly. We're doing estimates of our expenses, providing a snapshot in time. It was accurate when you sent it to me, but before you put it in the CASA, you'll have additional time if you need to add more expenses in there.
Okay, sounds good. And is the CASA, I mean, that's like not until the end of November, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Good question.
Yeah, good. All right. Nikki, I just want to check in with you specifically since we were kind of doing our offline work with your budget sheet. Was there any additional questions or do you feel like you're in a good place with that?
Yeah, I think I got it all figured out this morning. I just made a copy of one of the other ones I used for one of our other schools and just plugged in the number. For some reason, I couldn't get it to work on the CTE one. I don't know if it's because there's not a column for family literacy. I don't know. I tried to plug in like all the formulas, but yeah, I have it all updated and ready to go. So I think it's right.
Okay, good.
Thank you for all your help.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, all right. Vic, other than the budget updates, do you have any additional questions from the feds that we need to talk through or address today?
Well, why don't you let me show you some of the stuff that the feds are interested in.
Okay, give me
And
1 second.
I'll show you the document that I had to send in to them.
Okay, Vic, you should be able to share.
Okay. This is just one. This is the status template. So you can see that the GEPRA measures they're asking, they want to know how many students participating in a program supported by this are supported by the grant. And so, I put in our numbers that we have a raw number of 350, and then the actual performance, and then to provide a ratio. Then the second measure is the cumulative number of program participants who received an industry recognized credential. And that's another thing, important to meet with the Department of Labor on something like that. And, I put in that we've got 3, which is 1%. And then the third one is internships. And, I put in there that we are going to meet with the Department of Labor, and, a raw number again of 350. And I put in about 25 kids doing internships based on what you guys have said and your narratives. And then number 4 is the cumulative number of program participants who complete an apprenticeship as a result of a program. And then again, I put that in there. And then a performance measure is cumulative percent of program participants who receive a credential or an internship or apprenticeship. And on this one here, I said it's too soon because the implementation on this to report on this right now. And then they have some project specific measures. And I just, again, said it's too soon for us to report anything on that. So as you get kids enrolled, and we're hoping to get some guidance from the Department of Labor on, criteria. And as long as we meet that, we should be in a very good place for this grant. And then, again, I said our target is to provide for 350 high school students and career exploration for 475 middle school students for a total of 825. That was in the original grant. And so we're reiterating it there. And then describing the demographic data, I included a link to the survey. And then also some individual comments that you guys have said, and then, the different things. I already preliminary applied for $350,000 in carryover based on taking a look at the current expenses. So that means that I estimate we'll use $100,000 of our $450,000 grant this year. And I'm proposing to carry a big chunk of it over until next year. Because it's been hard. We got a staff shortage and we're trying to deal with the pandemic and roll out a brand new program all at the same time. And so these are things that I think are reasonable to request. Now, if we spend more than 100,000 this year, we spend 150, 170, that's okay. But it's important that we ask for a big enough chunk that we're not going to be shortchanging ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions for Vic about this? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for showing us the template too, Vic. I think it's kind of nice to see what Vic has to submit as well, which is, if nothing else, that we're not asking you for stuff just because it's fun, it does get used. So
trust me, I have a lot of this paper. Now, keep in mind, this is just one of 4 that I had to send in, but this was the one that has those GEPRA measures on there. So I thought it would be the most effective thing to share with you guys.
right. Okay. Okay, thanks for that. I'm going to go grab the agenda again real quick here. Okay, so as we kind of wrap up, and again, when I schedule these meetings, I do schedule an hour just in case we have larger things to discuss. But really, these meetings are designed to just be a check-in for us. So letting you know what we need from you, letting you, giving you an opportunity to do some sharing. And that's where we're at on our agenda right now. So if people want to chime in and let us know things that are going well, or if you are having an issue with something and you'd maybe like us to brainstorm or troubleshoot with you, this is the good time to do this. So I'll open up the floor.
I can go. I got students coming.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to do like a work-based learning night. I'm inviting like all the businesses in town and like tell them about the program, like what I do for the school and like what I'm looking for, and hopefully try to get something set up. The goal that night is to do like an apprenticeship with some of those companies. And then also I am meeting with Joe Weiler. He works, he has a company like down in Knoxville, and he works with the Knoxville schools, Minneapolis, and schools like that in their program. So I'm going to try to figure out like how they set it up and hopefully implement that at Owine.
That's awesome. Dalton, if you don't mind, during your event, could you snap a few pictures and maybe send those my way? Because I think that would be a good photo documentation opportunity for us. So yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a meal, and then after the meal, we're just gonna talk about like what I do, and hopefully I interest some businesses here in Owine.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Club or Council Bluffs, anything that comes into your mind?
I can kind of share out just kind of where we're at right now. Since Delisa's not here, she's a busy girl and she got some news this week. So I think she probably needed to just take a minute today, but she's been killing it. We've got the best thing I think that we have, because it's helping our elementary programs, our 21st century programs, is she's got some girls that are interning with our Kids in Company, which is our before and after school daycare provider. And we also partner with them in some of our 21st century schools after school. And so she's got some high school girls that are actually interning with Kids in Company. So it's just, to me, I think it's really awesome to see how that benefits not just those kids, you know, probably wanting to go into education, but it's directly benefiting our 21st century programs at a couple of our schools. So we're really trying to push that a lot. And she's got about 4, 5, 6, about 7. We've got 3 that are already in there. They're active, and then we're onboarding the other 4. And they should be starting pretty soon, probably like November, December, January. So that's one of our biggest highlights.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, and yes, when I spoke with Delisa, it did sound like she really needed to take today and be with her family. So that's good. So, all right, Nicole, not to put you on the spot, but any from club that you want to share?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, Ariel is still kind of rocking it out. I don't have the latest in terms of like what we're doing in the clubs for this fall, but I think one of the challenges that we're having at the club is staffing. So I think a pretty universal issue, but we just, I mean, obviously Ariel is a very strong program director for this particular grant, and we have some strong full-time staff at the club, but the part-time staff that work directly with the kids during the club programming, gosh, we're just having a hell of a time getting the staff that we need. We even have a wait list for our high school club. So super wild. So unfortunately, sometimes that draws Ariel away from sort of like the director role into the more kind of frontline running the program role. But we are doing our best. So Tony, Tim, our CEO, I think just got some arrangement going with the Des Moines Public Schools, essentially like creating these full-time staff positions that are shared between the club and the school. So that's helping a little bit. And so we're just rolling, trying to kind of get our numbers up, because that's where the need is for us right now. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, to your point of the creativity with partnering with the school, again, great for OSTCP, great for 21st century, great for out of school time, period, right? So
yes.
yeah, so thank you for brainstorming with your schools on that. So
yep.
All right, does anybody else have anything you want to throw into the ring just for highlights, discussion?
I do have a question about the financials or budgets or whatever. So I had our business director print off like everything from July to now. So do you want me to forward that on with a breakdown for everything? Or
Vic?
It looks like this.
Yeah, send that on to me. That would be great.
Okay, so I'll just send that to you then. Okay.
Okay.
And everything's broken down within it. So okay.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
And then Vic, if there's any discrepancies with that, if you would let us know, so that way we can make sure, we're correcting, or if there's any, you see anything that we're utilizing incorrectly, we just appreciate the feedback.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So before we sign off for the day, again, just that friendly reminder that if you have questions, you have needs, support in any way, Vic is available to you for your questions, especially as it pertains to finances and GEPRA measures and things of that nature. If I can be supportive to any of you in any way, and again, like if it means working on a spreadsheet with somebody, or bouncing ideas off of each other for events that you might have, if you would even like us to have some type of a presence at an event or a meeting, whether that be in person or virtual or through materials or something, let me know, and we'll be happy to work with you on those types of things. So we are here for you. And then last but not least, want to remind everybody of our next meeting, which is scheduled for December 17th. Is there any reason that wouldn't work with the holidays? I assume you're all still in school at that point. Okay. I'm seeing like thumbs up, or I'm seeing head shakes. So December 17th is our next check-in. I'll follow up through an email with you about our next professional development session, hopefully soon, and then we'll move forward with it that way. So with that being said, by next Friday, the 22nd, get your claim sheet to Vic with your estimate for your Q2 expenses, and reach out with any questions you might have. So thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead and stop share, and I'm going to stop my recording.